Ruth Dyson.
Speaker, in every town and city in our country, people are getting more and more confused about what the government is doing. They are asking me and asking my colleagues, where is this government going? Where is the vision? What is the plan? Well, our decisive Prime Minister, John Key, gives them an absolutely decisive answer. When he's asked that question, John Key says, well, yes, maybe, and no. No, yes, maybe, absolutely no idea where he is taking our country, no vision and no plan. Quite different from the John Key in opposition, where he gave a speech saying that National would give New Zealand a fresh start. He said that National and government would be unrelenting in their quest to lift our economic growth rate and raise wage rates. Well, I think the job of being the Prime Minister is harder than he ever thought it would be. It was easy in opposition to make these great commitments and outline a great vision. But since they have been in government, Mr. Speaker, we have seen nothing at all except great plans, oops, U-turn. Another plan, oops, another U-turn. Or great announcements and no action to follow. The cycleway, as my colleague David Parker said, who could argue with the idea of a cycleway? It was an off-the-top-of-his-head comment at a job summit where people from all around the country had given a commitment to working with government to get us through the recession, to make sure that fewer New Zealanders lost their jobs and more New Zealanders were able to be in paid employment. The only thing that has come out of the summit is the cycleway, which has produced no jobs at all. What an embarrassment. A job summit, key leaders from all around the country committing themselves to doing something together for New Zealand and not one action out of it. What about the proposal to make New Zealand the Asia-Pacific hub for the financial services industry? Another great idea coming out of the mouth of the government. A proposal was due, we were told, in May, and now it's nearly August and there is absolute silence from the government. Not a whisper about this next great, bold initiative. Nothing else has come out of the government. The Don Brash-led initiative, 2025 Task Force, which said that the most important thing that government should do is slash government spending, blew its entire 3-year budget for meeting fees in just 1 year. So here's Don Brash preaching that the public service should cut back on excess, that government should cut their spending, and they spent their entire 3-year meeting fees in their first year. So now we've resorted to that shining light from the backbench of Cabinet, Kate Wilkinson, saying that the best way to take New Zealand forward is to make sure that people can get sacked in the first 3 months of their employment without knowing why. Without knowing why. It might be a good reason. It might be a bad reason. But that person, regardless of what they did, deserves to know why they got sacked. That is a very simple right that Kate Wilkinson is going to take away, particularly from young New Zealand workers. How does that feel? When you go for your first job, you try really hard in your job, you don't get everything right. Maurice Williamson's still trying really hard in his job and clearly doesn't get everything right, but he deserves to be told so that he can improve, rather than just being sacked as he was in the past, with very little idea about what he had done wrong. That is a basic right that New Zealand workers should all have. I didn't actually, Mr. Quinn. And the other bold initiative from the government, which John Key and Jerry Brownlee paraded around the country, was that we would start mining in Schedule 4 of our national parks. And now that plan has gone down the tubes as well. There is no vision, no plan, no future for New Zealand under this government.
Dr. Campbell.